Jack, Red said, and went to embrace him. You came. I didn't come for you, Jack said, and refused to let her touch him. Where's Goldilocks? Red put a hand on her chest and was short of breath. Pure heartbreak started to consume her like a delayed poison. He really was in love with Goldilocks. Let me get everyone to safety and I'll go back for her, Froggy said. I'll go with you. Ah! Jack had begun to speak, but screamed when he tried to move his arms. No, you won't, Froggy said. One by one, Froggy took hold of Alex, Connor, Red, and Jack and leaped with them across the moat. Porridge took some convincing, but Jack coaxed her into hopping over the moat with him. They joined the soldiers, many of whom bowed upon seeing Queen Red Riding Hood. Forgive my hair, gentlemen, Red said. It's been a rough day. Where's the evil queen? Sir Grant asked. She's gone, Alex said softly. Gone? He asked. Yes, Alex said sadly. Trust me, you won't have to worry about seeing her again. Sir Grant nodded. A huge weight had been lifted off his shoulders and the shoulders of his kingdom. Where was Goldilocks when you last saw her? Froggy asked Jack. She was fighting that woman. I don't know where they went, Jack said. There she is, Connor said, pointing upward. Everyone raised their heads to look. Near the very top of the castle, Goldilocks and the huntress were still dueling on the roof. No one could say or do anything. They all just watched the fight with their mouths and eyes wide open. Neither of the women seemed to have an advantage over the other. It was going to be a fight to the finish. The castle was disintegrating around them, but they kept fighting, each determined to kill the other. Their fight had turned into a battle. They swung their weapons towards each other more violently than ever. Part of the roof near where they stood caved in, and Goldilocks lost her balance. She dropped her sword while trying to regain her footing. The huntress saw this as an opportunity to strike. She raised her dagger high above her head. It was aimed for Goldilocks, and there was nothing she could do to defend herself. No, Jack yelled. He ran over to a cannon and lit it. He wrenched it toward the huntress's direction, and it fired. A cannonball soared toward the women and blasted away the section of the roof the huntress was standing on. She fell the entire height of the castle, and in the moat, silently screaming the entire way, and into the moat, silently screaming the entire way. There was no way she could have survived the fall. Goldilocks found her balance and lovingly looked down at Jack. They shared a moment of blissful eye contact before disaster struck. Dust rose as the castle began to collapse completely underneath Goldilocks. Goldilocks! Jack yelled. I can't watch, Alex said, and buried her face in Connor's shoulder. It was hard to see anything through the dust. The sound was thunderous. Thousands upon thousands of stones were falling on top of one another. Many rolled over into the moat. The dust eventually cleared out once the stones had settled. The castle was now just a massive pile of stone bricks. Goldilocks was nowhere to be found. Goldilocks? Jack hollered, running along the edge of the moat, trying to find any trace of her. The odds didn't seem in her favor. Froggy jumped across the moat and disappeared into the debris. Everything was silent. The twins thought Jack was going to have a heart attack while waiting. Every second that they didn't hear or see anything felt like an hour. Slowly but surely, two figures made their way through the wreckage. It was Froggy, and he was helping Goldilocks through the rubble. She was limping, but she was alive. The twins cheered, and Jack fell to his knees. They had never seen anyone so thankful in their lives. Froggy leaped over the moat with Goldilocks, and she and Jack collided into each other's arms. They shared a kiss so passionate that a few of the soldiers blushed. It was love personified. Red Riding Hood could feel her entire body ache with heartbreak while watching the scene. This may have been the only time she hadn't gotten what she wanted, and Jack had always been what she wanted more than anything. Porridge happily pranced over to Goldilocks, who petted her horse's mane. I'm all right, girl, Goldilocks said. I'm just banged up a little. Goldilocks, Sir Grant called out officially. You're under arrest. Oh, wait a second. Hold on, Jack said, standing in the way of the approaching guards. He turned and gave Red a scornful look. Do something. At first, Red did not know what to say. She had never really done anything official and queen-like. The Red Riding Hood Kingdom would like to pardon Goldilocks for all the crimes she's committed, Red said, and it's a very long list. That may be, Sir Grant said, but you can't pardon all the crimes she committed in other kingdoms. She's going to spend the rest of her life in prison. Seize her.